At least 290 people are still unaccounted for after a ferry capsized off South Korea's coast yesterday. Most are feared dead, although there's hope that a small group have survived in an air pocket of the capsized vessel. The ferry tipped over about 20 kilometers off Jindo Island. It was carrying more than 450 passengers, many of them high school pupils on a field trip. 6 people have been confirmed dead. Well, for the latest, we go live now to Beijing, where we're going to be talking to John Bailey, our Asia correspondent. John, good morning. 291 people still unaccounted for. What's the likelihood of survival, and any developments yet on the number of those who have perished in this disaster?
Yeah, hi, morning, Dan. What we know is we still have quite a few naval divers that are searching the wreck of this ferry, because the ferry has now reached the bottom of the ocean where it sunk, and one of the crews of these search and rescue teams said that the likelihood of people surviving is very small, because most of those feared dead were probably trapped inside the ferry. And also the problem is that the water where the ferry sunk is very cold. It's something in the region of 5 degrees. So even if people were around an air pocket, the cold water would have gotten the better of them. So as I said, it is the fear is that most of those 291 people still missing or unaccounted for, that they are in all likelihood dead.
Now, there's some interesting information that's been coming out that when this disaster was beginning, some of the passengers thought they're going to be rescued, and some people were still texting and tweeting and communicating. They were told to stay on board, but this miscommunication made the disaster worse. Is that the case?
Well, a few of the survivors said that there was a lot of confusion once the ferry started tilting, because the crew on board kept on telling them that they must stay in their seats, that everything is fine. That so the instruction was, do not try to get off the ship. Everything is under control, which of course was not the case. And people were texting the family members, telling them something was going wrong. And the family members actually phoned the authorities to inform them, because there's a concern that it took about an hour and a half before a distress call came from the vessel, and apparently the captain of the vessel, he survived, so he's being investigated at the moment as to what went wrong, because clearly there was a lot of confusion coming from the crew to the passengers.
And we understand that one of the students has texted his father saying they might be trapped in an air pocket. Do you know anything about that? Are the rescue workers there investigating that?
Well, that's why there are quite a few naval divers from South Korea, as well as the Americans, are trying to they are close to the wreck. They are searching the area at the moment, but they are saying that the operation is being hampered by mud on the seabed at the moment, and they haven't received any word from any possible survivors, whether they are in an air pocket or not. And as I said earlier, the problem is really the cold water there. It's difficult to imagine that people would be able to survive more than 24 hours in 5 degrees Celsius water.
Okay, thank you very much. That's eNCA Asia correspondent John Bailey, live from Beijing.
Know more about your world.
eNCA.com